shall we start with a little introduction? Maybe anyone can start, so that this class will not be a student teacher class. Okay, this class will be an interactive class. In this class, I'll ask questions and you have to answer, or you can also ask questions and I will answer. So it will be two-way communication. So it will be fine. That will be fine.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. So please have a short introduction. Don't complete this class in introduction only. Have a short introduction of all of you so that we can understand each other and we should know that how our team is performing. So please have an intro from anyone can start. Don't say at the same time. Anyone can start. So I'll ask. Bijo, start.
Hello, sir.
Hi.
Hi. My name is Bijo. I'm from Shabarimala. So previously I did a laptop course on Chennai. There is an institute called Chip System.
No, don't take anybody's name. Where have you been? Where from where you have taken? We have kept it aside. We'll only talk what is your name, from where you are, and what is your experience of laptop repairing, and what you think that you are going to get knowledge from us. So that's in these 4 points you will explain yourself. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay.
So currently I am taking the problem with shorts like that I can remove, but I am not able to repair the logic complaints.
Okay.
That is my problem.
Okay. So since how many years have you been in this field, and you are repairing? For how many years you have been there?
Actually, just 2 years only.
Oh, you have 2 experience. Okay, no problem. Okay.
Yeah.
Jack, please introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Jack, and my name is Marini Stolzenton. I'm from Australia. I have a shop.
Okay.
But I have experience with only like troubleshooting, taking off the things,
Okay,
like change the parts.
You troubleshoot up to the component level, right? Now, if there is any technical issue like signal or any logic, then you get stuck in there. How many years of experience you have?
I have 5 years, but not the motherboard repair.
Okay, you have 5-year experience, and in this field, in the motherboard repairing, what is the experience? What is your experience in motherboard repairing?
I know how to take off the components, but not to trouble.
Okay, right, no problem. Okay, so Jose, please introduce yourself now.
Yeah, I am Jose. I am joined from Chennai. Actually, I am little bit basic for in chip level. So recently, 9 months only, I am handling for this chip level. Before that, I am handling for IT professional. So I am more expert for laptex to join these classes.
So, Prabjit, please introduce yourself.
Yeah, hi everybody. I'm Prabdeep. I actually am a technician in Canada. I recently had some trouble with my own laptop, and I didn't. A capacitor blew up on it. It was shorted or something. So it took me some time to find the short.
Yeah.
But it is still not booting. So here I am. I am going to.
That is your motivation. Your own laptop is your motivation to learn laptop repairing, right? Okay. Okay, Mr. Raj, please introduce yourself.
Yeah, because if you send it to someone.
Yeah. You continue. You can continue yourself. I thought you are finished. You can continue.
If I send it to a technician, it takes time, right?
Yeah.
And so that's why I want to do it myself.
You can get a profession out of it also. Okay, Mr. Raj, now it's your turn.
My name is Moraj. I'm from Chennai.
That's a good view of you. We all can't see you.
No, yes.
Okay. No issues. We can deal with your teeth and your voice.
1 year.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We can only see your teeth and your voice, and we can hear your voice.
Not chop level.
Right. Okay.
I don't have experience in chip level.
Okay.
I have only experience in quad level.
Up to how
Okay.
many years?
Now, 1 year, around 1 year,
Okay,
1
you
month
have
I'm
experience of 1 year, right?
in this field.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So anyone left? Senthil?
Yes, my data connection is very poor, so I cut my video.
Okay, no issues.
Okay, my name is Sendil. I'm from Chennai.
Yeah,
I was in this chip level 3 to 4 years, I think so.
right. Very good. So we are finished with our, what we call it, the intro. Now, so I think the most experience is Senthil with 4 years experience, and we all are starting. So I will take the benchmark from the starting level. We'll start from the basic. We'll start from the conductor resistor. What are these basic components, and then we'll go up to the CPU. Okay. So my logo is, we'll start from diode and we'll go to CPU. So we'll start like that. First, we'll go through the overviews. What are the are you able to see my screen? Is my screen clear to all?
Yes.
Yeah.
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 Okay. So we'll start first. What is the course? What are the topics that we are going to cover in this course, and what you expect from this course? Okay. It's not like that. I'm not going to reveal everything. I'm going to reveal each and everything that I have promised, and I am committed to that. And we are going to see what are the topics that we are going to deal here, and how we are going to go through our course. Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tie your seat belts. We are going to fly. Right. So here we are. So actually this course will be covered by two faculties. My name is, okay, I introduce myself as well. My name is Dildar Khan. I am an electrical and electronics engineer, and I have an experience of 5 to 6 years in this field. I've been teaching for 3 to 4 years, because in 2 years only I get into this chip level repairing. And we have divided our courses into two parts. One is complete internal logic and all the concepts that are required to deal with the laptop repairing, and other part is the practical thing, everything that deals with the practical knowledge. So we'll have two parts, and everything will be bifurcated in those two categories. So one category will be dealt with me, Dildar, and the other category will be dealt with Mr. Nasir sir, who has an experience of 15 years in this laptop chip level repairing. He has been repairing since his childhood, and he'll tell you the biggest practical experience that you can ever get. And I am here to tell you all the logics that you stuck in. Okay, we will have a perfect combination of theory as well as practical, so that you can come out as a complete engineer, not as a practical engineer or as a theoretical engineer. You will be coming out as a complete engineering field student, having a very good experience in both the fields. Okay, so we'll start with our basic thing. As you know, if your base is strong, you can build up 25 story building. Prabjit, you are just upside down.
Oh, I'm upside down.
Yes, you are looking like a bat. Sorry for that, but you are
That's
looking
okay.
upside down. Now, still you are like that. No problem.
I don't know what's.
Now it's okay.
Okay.
Yep. So we are going to start with this switching section. Okay, the basic building block of any motherboard repairing. Any motherboard you take, if you go with mobile repairing, or you go with motherboard, or you will go with the motherboard laptop or desktop motherboard, you will deal with all these components. These components. Everybody thinks that they all know this, but actually they don't know actual concept of this. If you know everything, every actual basic understanding of all these components, you are not going to stuck anywhere. As Prabjit is stuck in a capacitor, and now he is doing a laptop repairing course. So a little thing can change your motive and change your perspective of seeing anything. So we'll do each and everything in details. We'll start slowly, very slow. You might get see that this chapter is lethargic, but it is necessary. We'll start very slow, and we'll change the gears from 1 to 6. We'll go from 1 to 6, and you'll cope up with that. I can guarantee you. So we'll be having switching sections in which we'll deal with resistor, the most basic component. Then we'll deal with inductors, that we call coil. And the capacitor, the favorite topic of Prabjit, we'll do with capacitor also. what is the shorting level, what is how we check capacitor, what is the value of a capacitor, what are the leakage, all the components that we'll see, we'll go through step by step. PN junction diode, you know, all know what is a diode, and the other form of diode is Zener diode that we use in a reverse direction. We'll see, we'll go through that also. BJT, bipolar junction transistor, how a BJT is useful, and what are the application of BJT, that we'll see also. After that, we'll go through MOSFET. The most used component on motherboard repairing is the MOSFET. Everyone must have come across this component. Am I right? MOSFET, you all know. MOSFET is the basic building block of
Yeah.
every motherboard. In every motherboard, you'll see MOSFET, MOSFET, only MOSFET. Everywhere MOSFET, MOSFET, and capacitor. So these, if you know everywhere only these components, then why you are going to, why you get stuck in understanding IO, PCH, CPU? They have been built very minutely. They have been built very carefully by the manufacturer. But these components, resistor, inductor, capacitor, diode, Zener, BJT, MOSFET, gates, op-amp, these are not given so much importance. They are cheap elements. So the manufacturer also know if this gets damaged, then it's not a big cost. Okay. But if IC gets damaged or the PCH or CPU gets damaged, that will be a bigger challenge for the manufacturer. So they take more I would say prevention in preparing those. So the chances of those IC getting faulty is very less. The chances of these components getting faulty is more. Okay, so that's why you see the faults in these sections more often than your main ICs. If you take 100 boards, you will get 20% chances of getting shorting in the main components. But these components in 80% chances, in 80% cases, you will get these components being faulty. Okay, so you understand, when you get the board, you think, oh, the PCH is gone. First thing you say, this IC is gone. You have to understand first the basic building block, the basic understanding of any IC, how it works. If you understand that this IC is working very fine, then you will see the auxiliary components that you need to understand. Okay, so we'll go through all these gates, AND gate, NOR gate, NAND gate, what are the different gates that we'll use in the motherboard. And when we go in the internal logic, when you talk about internal logic, in the internal logic, these components will be used, gates and operational amplifier, op-amp. That will seem to be a new topic or a new thing for the beginners, because op-amp, if you talk about latest generation, in the latest generation, you will be seeing op-amp, op-amp, op-amp everywhere, because it is a really reliable component. Op-amp is a very reliable component, so it can be used in any form, as a replacement of any of these components. So we will go through the op-amp very minutely, and we will understand all its functionality. Okay. So in the switching section, what we will cover for each topic, as I said, all these 10 topics, what we will cover in each topic that I have explained here, all the switching components, working principle, how they work, what is the principle of their working, how they are switch off, how they are switch on, how the current will pass through that, how the voltage will be stored in that, everything will go through that. After that, we'll go through the schematic. If you know that this is a resistor, this is a capacitor, this is a coil, then in schematic, how these things are working and how they are placed and how we have to trace on the schematic. Because when you get a fault, everyone is there, no? Nobody is missing.
Yeah.
I think
Mm.
5 and 6. Okay, everyone is there, right? So what we'll go through the schematic, the diagram. If you know, there is a manual that you get when you buy a mobile or any laptop, you get a manual. That manual is this motherboard schematic. You can do everything and anything using this schematic if you have mastery in this. So I'll be focusing on this main thing. This is the schematic. Schematic will be my main focus. Everybody can take a motherboard and remove one component each time and replace it one by one, then the motherboard may get solved. Anyone can solve single board in a single day if he replaces all the components. But if he knows how to read a schematic, if he understands what is the logic of a schematic, then he will be able to solve 10 times better and 10 boards more than that person. So you have to focus on schematic. That is not an easy topic, but that is also not a very tough or rocket science. It is a mild topic. I'll teach you step by step and you'll get over it. Inshallah, you'll do it, right? So, and after that, when you know the working principle of each component, after that, I'll tell you how to find the faults in those components. First, we'll see the shorting. What is the shorting? How we'll be able to find the shorting of any component? How we'll understand it is open or there is a leakage in that component. There are three things. Shorting is another thing, open is another thing, and leakage is another thing. So these three condition of any component can cause a different symptom in the motherboard. Are you all getting my points? These three conditions of a component can cause a different symptoms in a motherboard. Okay, if I take an example, if you take a charging section, okay, 19 volt DC section, in that if the first or second MOSFET is shorted, I'm talking about this first topic, A, if that component is shorted, then the board will be in dead condition. You know what are the condition of a motherboard? Dead condition, on off problem, no display problem, dim display problem, and various problem. I'm talking about the dead motherboard. The motherboard is said to be in dead condition, in off condition, when no supply is present in the motherboard. The first supply that enters the motherboard is the 19 volt supply. We'll go through that also. Okay, so if that supply is not getting into the motherboard, then motherboard can be thought to be in the dead condition. Okay, in that case there can be many reasons, but I'm talking about this first reason. If the first MOSFET that switches the 19 volt is in the short condition, then motherboard will be in dead condition, right? The second point is open. When the leakage, when there is opening of the MOSFET, okay, then what happened? The MOSFET can switch in a diode mode also. Okay, MOSFET can switch in a diode mode also, but it will be in the open condition. So there will be other symptoms in the motherboard. What could be that those symptoms? What could be those symptoms? There could be that motherboard is getting on, but charging is not possible. Okay, motherboard is getting on, but charging not possible. Battery is not getting charged. So there could be this reason. So in that case, you cannot think that it is a shorting case, because motherboard is getting on, but there is battery is not getting charged. So that is not a shorting case. There could be a leakage case, or there could be an open case. There is a minute difference between a leakage and an open. Okay, we'll go through that when we get into the details. I'm just giving you the overview what we are going to cover in this. It may take a whole class, but you have to understand this first. If you know the background of any topic, why you are shown a trailer of a movie, why you are shown that? Because you should know what is the crux of that movie. If you know that what will be the action, what will be the comedy, what will be the sequence, what will be the climax, you know everything when you see a trailer of a movie. That's why trailer is made. And this overview of the topic that we are going to cover, this is made like that, so that you know, you have in the background that what we are going to study and what are the topics that is more important. I will focus on those. What are the topics that you need to focus more? Okay, now let's move on. And we'll go through some basic electronics as well, because everybody is not from the electronics background. So there is a requirement of basic understanding of the electronics, that what is the current that is going to flow in this resistor. If you talk about PSID, and in that PSID there is a current, and there is a resistor also, and that resistor is always faulty. Why you say that resistor is faulty? If I ask you a reason why you say that resistor is faulty, you cannot answer it, because you don't know what is the Ohm's law. If you know Ohm's law, it says what current is going to flow through that resistor is divided by voltage and resistance. That resistance is that factor. That's why there is a problem in that. We'll go through that also. Voltage divider, the most common structure of resistor used in the motherboard is voltage divider. You all know that what is a voltage divider. We'll see the application, actual application, how we can change the voltage divider's value and get us different motherboard working. Okay, we'll see through that. Current divider, not very much used in motherboard, but we'll see also that somewhere it may be used. So you should know what is a current divider also. ACL KVL, that is included in voltage and current divider only. Current and voltage calculation on actual motherboard schematic. We'll see how you want to say that this ampere current is going to flow through this resistor. We'll see through that also. A basic electronics we will cover here as well. Conductor and semiconductor, that you all know maximum components that are used on our motherboard is a semiconductor, not a conductor. Okay, why that is, we'll go through this basic things, because we are not here to do engineering, we are not here to develop anything, we are here to repair. So we should know what is our aim. We're not here to design anything. We are here to repair. So we should focus and we should study on that pinpoint target. Our target is to repair. So we'll focus on that only. But we should have that knowledge that what are the components that are used and what is their behavior. We should know that. Because in 5% case, this may solve your problem. So why should we leave those 5%? Okay. So polarity concept of voltage and current. What are the polarities of the voltage? How to determine if you say there is a negative current protection. If any motherboard or any data sheet of a charging or of any of the IC says that it has a negative current protection. What do you mean by negative current protection? You should have understanding what is a positive current, what is a negative current, what is the positive voltage, what is the negative voltage. There should be a basic understanding. Okay. So you can unmute your mic if you want to have any question. It's not that I already said you, it's not a one-way communication. It will be a two-way communication. I'm just giving you overview. Don't think that I'll not ask questions. I'll ask questions on each topic. So be ready for that also. Don't get sleep. Okay. Now, after that, we'll enter in the actual motherboard field. Okay. This is the first step towards the motherboard working. This is a 19 volt DC in section. Where the first supply, now I'll start asking question because now I think you are getting bored. So unmute your mics and get ready to answer. Prabjeet is already unmuted.
Yeah.
So what are the voltages that are used in the motherboard? What are the voltages?
19 volts,
And that I
3.3
can
volts.
see here. It is already written. Apart from this.
1.85 volts, 1 volt,
Okay.
1.04 or 1.2. Like that's all I
1.05
think.
PCH supply.
1.05,
Okay.
yeah, 1.05.
Okay. And anyone else? Raj, Mr. Raj, please tell. Please say any voltage you know that that is used in motherboard that he has had that Prabjeet has not said.
5 volt, 3 volt.
3 volt, 5 volt. Okay, you may repeat also. Jose, you can also say. I can have some grapes as well while you answer.
0.7 volt.
0.7 volt. Where have you seen 0.7 volt? I have not seen 0.7 volt. That is a diode drop. That is not a voltage that is used. Okay.
Okay. 1.5 volt and the termination voltage.
VDD voltage.
No, I'm sorry. 1.5, 1.8, 0.9 volt.
Okay.
And 0.75 volt.
Okay. Okay.
And
right. Okay. That's enough for you. Bijo, you answered?
No, sir. Only that much, sir.
Okay. Anyone else? Jack, you can answer also.
Yeah, I know only that 19 volt, 3.3 volt,
Okay.
5 volt.
Anyone
Yeah.
else? No one is left. So you must have seen also 28 volt supply. Have you seen 28 volt?
yes, in HP motherboard.
Yeah. HP motherboard, you see a 28 motherboard supply that is used to switch this 19 volt, okay, into the motherboard. We'll go through all those architecture. So first we should know what are the voltages that are available on the motherboard. So we should have understanding that this is our courtyard, that we have to remain in this courtyard only. So if you know that there could be a 28 volt also, so you must have in your mind that there must be a step up IC. There are two types of IC, step down and a step up. As you have entered only 19 volt in the motherboard, how come you are getting 28 volt at the output? There is it means there are two types of regulator. I'm not getting it. Now I'm getting into this topics also. So there are two types of regulator. One is a step down regulator and the other one is a step up regulator. Okay. When you go from 19 volt to 3 volt, 5 volt, 1.05 volt, 1.8 volt, 0.9 volt, 0.75 volt, this is a step down converter. Okay. And when you go from 19 volt to 28 volt, that is a step up converter. Okay. So we will see what are their working and how to determine that if it is working fine or not. Okay. And you'll understand the logic also. How 19 volt is getting converted to 28 volt. How come is that possible? आपके पास 100 रुपये है. If you have only 100 rupees, and how can you spend 120 rupees? But here we can. How that is possible? We'll go through that. Okay. That is a property of inductor coil. You understand coil? That is the property of a coil that will pump those voltage into the output, and you'll get 28 volt as well. We'll go through that. We'll go through that also. So now you are clear. What are the voltages that are used in the motherboard, right? There is also
Yes.
15 volt supply, 14 or 15 volt supply. Have you seen?
All laptops.
Have you heard about the charge pump?
Yes.
Have you seen 8204 RT8204 IC, which has a charge pump supply that gives 15 volt output that goes to the run section and changes the voltage from suspend to run? Have you seen 15 volt supply from the 3 volt, 5 volt IC? Okay,
Yeah.
no problem. We'll go through that as well. We'll see when we get into the schematic. When we get into the schematic, we'll see all these things coming up one by one, right? So after that, we'll see the different architecture. There is a 19 volt supply that is coming into the motherboard. How it is getting inside the motherboard? You have just applied the adapter there. That is a 19 volt supply, right? Now how it is going to enter into the motherboard, that will be defined by the different architecture of 19 volt section. You have seen that there are many architecture. There can be 2 MOSFET, P channel, N channel. There can be 2 N channel MOSFET. There can be 2 P channel MOSFET. There can be 2 diodes as well there also. And if you, sorry, and if you see in Dell 3542 model or 5537 model, Dell 5537 model, you will see there is a dual diode, there is a dual MOSFET IC used there. There is no MOSFET used. There is a single IC that is used there, which has 2 MOSFET built inside it. So if you don't have that IC, how you can repair the motherboard? If you know the logic, how a MOSFET works, then we go again to the basics. If you know how MOSFET works, you can make any IC as well. If that IC you don't have, you can make that IC using 2 MOSFETs. 2 single MOSFETs you can use to make a dual MOSFET. So if you understand the basic functioning, what are the basics that we should know to deal, right? So 19 volt different architecture, we'll go through 5 to 6 to 7 architecture, and I'll give you one more thing I forgot to tell you. I'll give you some homework as well, okay? Because if I only tell you everything and you just take it and you just go and sleep, then it will be gone. If you don't work on it, then only it can stay with you. You have to work on it. Okay, I'll teach you 4 to 5 architecture, and I'll give you 3 to 4 architecture as well. You'll have 4 to 5 days gap after each class. You'll have 4 to 5 days gap. You have to complete in those days that section, and then we'll discuss it. Okay, right. After that, we'll go through the problems related to the motherboard. So if you know that if 19 volt is not getting inside the motherboard, it means the motherboard is in a dead condition, right? If the first supply is not inside the motherboard, then that motherboard is in dead condition, right, Jack?
Yes, that's right.
Yes. So that problem could be due to many reasons. Okay, that problem could be many reasons. As in case of PUBG, that was due to shorting of a capacitor. Okay, that can be due to opening of a MOSFET. That can be due to charging IC as well. That can be due to SIO controller as well. There could be n number of reasons for this dead laptop motherboard, right? So we'll go through all the logic. Understand one thing. If you know a single case study that if I put you have seen my YouTube channel, na? Everybody has seen my YouTube channel. You must have seen that I put solution as well. Now I have stopped giving solution as well. I put all the solutions also on the videos itself. Problem is there, solution is there. But by seeing that video only, you can solve that motherboard only.
That solution only.
Okay,
Yeah.
you can solve that motherboard only. But if a different motherboard comes, or if a same motherboard comes with a different problem, you will not be able to solve that, right?
That's right.
So it is not for my use, because you can solve a motherboard seeing that video. That is a different thing. But if you know the concept, you can solve 100 motherboards. Okay, if you know the concept, you can solve 100 motherboards. I want to tell you that. So you must focus. Don't focus on the case now. Focus on the learning. If you learn it, you can solve all the motherboards. Not all. I myself don't solve all the motherboards. You can solve 90% of the cases. Okay. Don't think that you will solve 100%. Think that you will solve 90%. If you are solving 9 out of 10 motherboard, you are a good engineer. Now let's get to the next slide. Basic triggering logic of motherboard. So once 19 volt is adapter, if you are putting this adapter, you can see this adapter. If you are putting this adapter in the motherboard, then it is just giving the 19 volt supply to the board, na? But that 19 volt supply needs to go at different regions of the motherboard, on different ICs of the motherboard. That is determined by the triggering logic of the motherboard. Okay, when IO gets triggered, when I'm talking about triggering, what is the meaning of triggering? That is, in 90% case, that is an IO triggering. Okay, super IO. Have you seen the name? Have you heard the name? Everyone is aware of that. SIO, super IO, or
Yes.
EC you call it, or KBC you call it. That is a controller to control all the peripheral components of your motherboard. Okay, you have a, you know what is a platform? There is a platform, and that platform is used to go, if you can go there also, you can go there also, you can go there also, you can go different direction from a single platform. So that controller is that platform which collects information from all the peripherals that are connected to that. Okay, it just collects information. It is not a processing unit. First of all, I should clear you that it is not a processing unit, it is just a collecting unit. Okay, we are suffering from a COVID-19 pandemic, and you should know there is a collection center and there is a testing center. Okay, sample is collected somewhere else and testing is done somewhere else. IO is a sample collector and the testing is done by the CPU PCH, right? So these two are different, and you should understand these two are working like this only, right? I have given a bad example, but that was the best way to make you understand.